Welcome back, everybody. Of course, you just listened to possibly. You guys aren't going to hear this until it's actually produced in, but you guys listen to one of the greatest songs that's ever been produced. To be honest with you, from from the one the man Tony Khan. We got great audio going into this.
Yeah, so I mean, in case you guys didn't know, like as you said in the last section, like Tony Khan literally sent me this email, like literally 15 minutes before we went on to record the show. We played this audio of Tony Khan. I want y'all to let us know what y'all think about Tony Khan's rendition of Juicy in the comments. So that was hey, that's what y'all into. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's what y'all into. That's what y'all into.
But speaking of that, we are absolutely here. We are here to kick off things with our WrestleMania prediction party. And of course, we have our illustrious guest to the side. This wouldn't be a WrestleMania prediction party without the family here. Of course, we have representing the rewriters room. We got all three of them here. So I feel like we got the triumvirate here. We got the trio. We got the Shield. We got what's another trio? Destiny's Child. We have
SWV.
SWV. Oh, very timely.
Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels. Where we going? Where else we going with this?
Team Bad.
Team Bad?
Team Bad.
Yeah.
Fell off the foot for that one.
Damn. Tough. Not some submission sorority.
I got another
Women's History Month. I'm sorry.
I got another thriesome pod that you guys might be aware of.
No. We don't have to.
Well, let's go. Let's go then.
We don't have to mention that. Welcome to the show.
Oh wow.
Table for three. Thank you. Oh my God. What a compliment.
Hey, Armand know all about that.
Hey, my fault, OG.
Speaking of that, we got Armand in the building. Shout out to Armand. What is good, my guy?
Good to be here. Good to be here.
What is it? What are you looking forward to WrestleMania the most this year?
Man, that John Cena Austin Theory match. I'm really excited about that. I'm looking forward to this Gunther Drew McIntyre Sheamus match. I think that's going to steal the weekend. But this Mania is shaping up like on paper. This is one of them ones, and we'll see if it delivers. I think it will.
Absolutely. We of course have Channing himself wearing donning an illustrious what is that? What color do-rag is that?
So I got the red on because I have on the blue headphones, so I'm trying to keep equality between brands because I don't believe in brand supremacy. I think that a rising tide lifts all boats, and that there's no need for us to divide ourselves once a year just because it's Thanksgiving.
All brands matter.
What? Wow.
That's what he said. He said
what do you look for WrestleMania this year, Channing?
I mean, it's in the name. I mean, our mid-card Messiah is here. Westside Gunther. He's come. He's brought us out of the darkness that was the Intercontinental not being.
Now you admit there was darkness.
I always find light in the darkness just because that is how I was raised. But I'll say, facts are facts. In the Intercontinental not being on pay-per-views, it was a problem. Okay. But I'm living in the present. I'm looking forward, and Gunther's here. I mean, he is everything that they said he would be and more. So I'm really looking forward to that. Should be Banger Bros classic. We'll get to see some real violence. Some real men at work. Some real meat slapping. So
wait, what do you mean by that?
Well, how about let's not let's not figure out what he means by that. Hold on. And rounding out the rewriters room, we got CC. What is good, my guy? Please take it from here.
I mean, how y'all living, man? It's WrestleMania week. This has been the first WrestleMania that I'm like I can't wait to watch it since probably like I was a kid. And the only thing that I'm really looking forward to this weekend, it would have to be the surprises. I feel like last year kind of like brought us to a level to where now like I'm kind of expecting something. Like I'm not expecting like something to come through and it's just like, oh, that's nice or whatever. I'm expecting to be like, oh my gosh, like that's blah blah blah, whoever it is or whatever happens. And then other than that, I just want to see both sides, people who neutral. I want to see everyone react to that final match on that final night. I cannot wait to see what happens when that final 1, 2, 3 happens. So that's gonna be hilarious.
The sides will be drawn, people will be exposed, and everything will come to light. given the result. And of course, we could not be here without the man into the stuff. My man Dion. Dion, what is good, bro?
Listen, it will not be a WrestleMania prediction show without your boy. I'm here. I'm excited, man. I'm 100% excited.
You don't have any? Well, what are you specifically excited about?
So obviously, last year, I mean, anybody that was there, man, it was just a monumental year. I probably like my top 2 WrestleManias of all time, and obviously that's biased in there. But what I'm excited about this year, I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm really excited about Ray versus Dominic. This is the match that I feel like a lot of people are anticipating. They're really waiting to Ray go Joe Jackson on his own son, and I might say like this is the most storyline driven WrestleMania of all time. Like a lot of storylines have been intertwined with each other. Like if you look at Ray and Dominic, it's a spinoff from the feud he had with Judgment Day. You see Edge and Finn Balor, you know, a year in the making, a year ago, that's when Edge created the Judgment Day. Just so many storylines that have been really like well thought out and well put together. So I'm really excited to see how these storylines kind of end or even continue.
Boom. I love it. We're here. We're kicking this thing off. We're starting with the undercard because you know what? Sometimes it's the undercard that really holds up this WrestleMania. I mean, when we look at the undercard last year, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the classic between Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin, or the illustrious Mountain, was it not Mountain Dew? Mike's Hard Lemonade tag team title match between Boots and Shinsuke versus the Usos. What else we had on the undercard last year?
Street Profits versus RK Bro versus Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
Jackass match.
Jackass match.
Well, that was a celebrity match, but you're right though.
Sammy won no upper Carter. That's this is first time.
He glowed up. He's glowed up. Listen, we don't know what's gonna happen. We're recording this before Monday Night Raw. So if any news kind of comes out, anything breaks out, just know that we probably got to it in the intro for the show. But with that said, we're going over the undercard for this show, and there's quite a bit to go through. Justin, where do you kind of want to start first with this thing?
Let's start with actually I want to weave through a match that's not going to happen into a match that's going to happen. And I want to start with Bobby and Bray and lead us into the WrestleMania men's showcase on SmackDown, the Andre the Giant shit that's going down in the crypt on Friday.
Not the Andre the Giant shit.
Yeah, at the crypt. Well, Bobby Lashley, Bray Wyatt. A lot has come out about this. A lot of stuff back and forth. Since we're on the prediction show, we could just go ahead and like just kind of say it. Like we've heard lots of different things, from Bray potentially being out because of an injury, because he was sick, because Bray just went home. But we don't know where Bray Wyatt is. He hasn't been seen on TV in a number of weeks. And Bobby Lashley was left without an opponent after just weeks ago saying, "Why won't you stand up and be a man?" And Bray said, "Fuck that. I don't want to be a man." And then it led to the infamous A-Show segment. Somebody was tickling me that day. And then it led to Bobby Lashley unceremoniously being put and airlifted into the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Can we do we have that graphic, Meals?
Yeah, we can share this graphic. It's probably one of the most damning things that we've seen in quite some time.
For who?
For Black America.
All right, we don't have to do all that.
There's a lot of
like
black
Bobby Lashley.
There's the cops coming from Mills right now.
He just called the See? That's what he do. That's what he do.
It's not even working now. Having all these technical difficulties.
See, y'all niggas like, hey, the long standing, and I want y'all's opinion on this. A long standing argument on the Discord is, does Bobby deserve better, or is he getting what he deserves under Triple H? And there's a lot of differing opinions. We had this argument about Brock as well, but Brock kind of understands mentally where he needs to be on a card. I feel like Bobby even less so. Where do you guys stand on the Bobby deserves more kind of landscape here? Is it more so like he just caught a bad draw, or is it more like Triple H don't know what the hell he's doing with Bobby?
I mean, it's pretty simple. Wrestling's always been this way. You go and you look at any wrestler's Wikipedia, for any stretch of time, you're gonna see such and such was planned, but then so and so got injured and blah blah blah. It's like, bro, shit happens, man. Like at some point you might be at the top, at another point, based on the way stories were worked on and things that happen in the company, outside the company with different people, whatever. Next thing you know, you might be mid-card mafia or whatever. That's just how it goes or whatever. It's just like how he take it, how he carry it, really.
Bobby had his shot, man. I mean, he was given a lot in 2020, 2021. I mean, he was with Drew. He faced Drew at WrestleMania, got to retain the title. He had his own stable. He had damn near everything, honestly. So it's like, I think it's just really just like, hey, you had your time. Now it's somebody else's turn. I mean,
damn, you saying, like, listen, man, you had enough. Listen,
yeah.
if you in a battle royal, better take what you get.
What is this?
I think that's doing a bit much. I think while I would even agree as a Bray lover, you know, as a member of the Wyatt Six,
what does
the match would not have been that good. I'm not even gonna lie.
Do for you?
Oh, we know that.
What does Bray do for you?
I just like fantasy. I'm a sci-fi nerd, so I always love the mystical stuff. I just think it's cool, and so that's what I like about Bray Wyatt. But I think the point being is that amongst the company, Bray is a big deal. And so a match with Bray may not have been a good match. I think that would have been a sign that Bobby is still a big deal. So I don't think that this Battle Royal is like 100% circumstance. I think part of it is just like, you know, there's really nothing else for him to do. You know, you can't really create a feud unless you're going to make a feud with like someone like LA Knight, or maybe that's what happens. But it doesn't seem like it was Bobby's plan was to kind of always be in the undercard. I think it seemed like he was probably going to have a decent, you know, spot on the card, and just kind of didn't work out that way this
year. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that kind of goes into that, but as we saw in the graphic there, he is in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. This is usually a place where, I mean, Jey Uso won it.
Actually, before we want to do that, I actually want to play a little game. Let's play the game of who's won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal before. I'm
gonna get everyone wrong.
All right, let's run through it. If you guys can name, there's been thus far 8 people who have won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Can you guys name them right now within the span of the next? Let's put the clock in at 60 seconds. Can you guys name everyone who has won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal starting now?
So Cesaro won the first one. It was it Big Show? Was it Big Show 2015?
Yeah,
I think it was Big Show 2015.
Bray Wyatt is one.
2016 was Corbin. 2017 was Mojo Rawley.
Why do you know this?
2018 was Matt Hardy.
That was Matt.
2019 was Braun Strowman. 2020 it didn't happen. 2021 Jey Uso. 2022 Matt Cat Moss.
That was incredible. Oh my god!
The spirit of Andre the Giant possessed him.
Andre the Giant, am I right?
This is a nigga that watches the pre-shows. That's why he got.
I'm a student of the game, baby.
He's a pre-show watcher. Yes, those are all of the winners, and I think. I mean, let's go even further than that. Where did these guys go? I mean, Madcap Moss got a pretty sizable push after this. Jey Uso obviously is Jey Uso, and he continued to have his push after he won it. Braun Strowman again continued to have his push, but I mean, he eliminated Colin Jost from SNL. So I mean, it was just a celebrity type thing. Matt Hardy. It kind of gets kind of odd after this. Like Matt Hardy and Bray had their little tag team after this. They hugged each other, which is a weird thing to do after you win this. Mojo Rawley never went on to anything. Baron Corbin, I mean, even him, it was like he eliminated a babyface Kane, and
he was in NXT when he joined, so I think that's like the highlight of it. Like he was the NXT guy who won all of this.
Yeah, he was. Big Show is Big Show, and that was at the Heist of the Century Mania. And then before that, I mean, Cesaro pretty much was Cesaro after he won that. After that, and they tried to put him with Heyman, and it didn't really work. And it's going to be interesting because the thing is that I would expect, and I think that we have to look at this Mania through the lens of the fact that there is a new regime, there is a new leadership kind of thing going on here. What does this mean to them? And I think you look at the people who are in this match. they could realistically have left off a lot of these people who are in the match. You have Santos here, who is in the middle of a program. You have Gargano in here, who is literally going to be on an NXT show the next day. You have Bobby Lashley in here, LA Knight, who's extremely popular. You have who else? Bronson Reed, who they're pushing pretty sizably, and who had a showing in Elimination Chamber. So obviously there are some guys in here other than the other fodder that they actually think very highly of, including Karrion Kross. You know what I'm saying? I
feel like Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Well, I don't even know if they use Memorial anymore. They just says Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I feel like it defies all kind of story, time, space, anything. It's kind of really its own entity that exists
within a universe.
Yeah, it's easily like we're watching them. The best part would be if they filmed it like 3 hours before and everyone just zapped into the ring at the same time and says, we're going to have this battle royal. We're going to do this thing here. And I would have to say, all right, if I'm going to pick out of these people that exist right here, I think I'm going with, you got to go with LA Knight, right? I mean, Bobby's right there. Don't get me wrong.
If the story is that LA will be on Mania proper, him losing here again and being frustrated enough to actually crash the show on Saturday or Sunday makes most sense to me. If Meals, as you're thinking, Stone Cold or someone will come out to interrupt him when he has his segment.
Interesting.
I would as LA, I would have LA eliminate Bobby Lashley and then get eliminated.
Mm-hmm. All right, so who do you have winning this one, J5? It's pretty inconsequential, to be honest.
It is, but I'm also thinking of the mind that they might think very highly of whatever this is, and I think that you have a couple of guys in here that Triple H wants to get over really fast here. Gargano's here, Bronson's here, Santos and Legado is here. They're baby faces. I would have Santos win this, honestly.
Interesting. I love it. I love to hear it. CC, who do you got winning this one?
I like that. That's a good pick. I'm just going. So we went over the list, and there was one thing that kind of just kind of stood out when I thought about that list. Most of the guys are like you're talking about, like kind of like bigger guys, right? It's like Big Show, Braun Strowman, even Cesaro. Like he's like one of the small. Like Matt Hardy's like the smallest person that was on that list or whatever. So for that reason, plus for the reason that he doesn't really have anything going on, and this could be like his I did something, let me go get that next chip kind of thing. Plus, we're trying to push him. I see Bronson Reed taking this one. I see and the reason why is because even looking at the field here, there's a lot of people who I can see like getting into it in their own own thing or whatever. And Bronson Reed is just kind of like a wrecking ball or whatever. He can come through and just like break some stuff down, but also at the same time, I don't think there's anyone in this. If I'm wrong, there's not anyone in here who really has like a grudge against him or anything like that. So I don't see anyone really like eliminating him, over some crazy stuff. And I see him just sticking around, eliminating probably 6 to 8 people, and then just winning it. I can see that happening.
Hey man, you could definitely see that. Channing, what do you think? Where are we going with this?
To me, it's gonna be Karrion Kross. I think that Triple H, for whatever reason, loves him. He loves him some black and white filter. That man is obsessed with that black and white filter.
Hey, Channing, hit it. You gotta hit the eye for the
Fall
KK.
and pray.
You gotta hit the eye. Come on, put your arms out.
But yeah, I just think I do agree with the point of that LA Knight will probably be one of the last 2 people eliminated. And I just think that it's going to be probably Lashley, those 3 in the middle, Lashley, LA Knight, Karrion Kross at the end. And maybe Scarlett gets involved and missed or, does something to distract LA Knight, and then Karrion Kross gets him out of there.
Armand, what you got?
Man, I'm torn between Santos and Bronson, but I think I'm gonna go Bronson Reed for a lot of the reasons you guys said. He's been kept undefeated for a reason in singles competition. He's been mowing people down. I think this will be a good thing that shows up on his little card when he does his entrance in 2023 and beyond, like Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. Like I think that's going to be a good thing to add there because I don't
We
even
got
know
me a 30% bump at AEW. You know what I'm saying?
because I don't know what his shit says currently. So yeah, just throw that on there and let my guy Bronson cook because he's been doing well. So I think this is going to be his crowning.
All right, Dion, take us home. Who do you got winning this one? Dion?
I think you're on mute.
Yeah, Dion
you
froze.
muted. Oh, he might be froze, my boy.
He
Froze up.
froze on.
Oh, damn.
Froze up.
Froze up.
Wi-Fi.
Well, listen.
Small
While we here with it, I want to say that there's a dark horse pick that I've been looking at in all of this. Let's see if I can manage to get the best zoom on this thing. Let's see where you guys think I'm going with this.
I don't.
You going with the straight backs?
It better not be Mustafa.
It is none other
Oh my
than
God.
Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, Mr.
I
Straight
can
Back.
see him winning this one. I can see him winning.
You got a
this.
positive attitude. You got a positive
Him
attitude.
and Dolph are gonna do something and get themselves both eliminated.
Yes.
It'll be
right next to each other.
like they'll hug and fall out together or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
The ring will just like shake, and everyone will stay in except them two. They'll just fall out.
It'll be hijinks, pure
Yeah.
just
Oh my
hijinks.
There is something about this that is just, if you want to establish him, if you want to do something with him, if you want to start a brand new chapter with him, have Ali win.
Hey, why do we need to start a new chapter with him?
Hey man,
Close the book.
Yeah, why we've
Return it to the library.
We've read the book. I don't know why we would want to see that, but that is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Should be interesting. I don't know if I'll be watching SmackDown Friday. I'll probably watch it like Saturday morning.
hey man, listen, you're gonna hear about it either way. We gonna watch that. We gonna watch the Hall of Fame right afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have a good time. And probably after the Hall of Fame airs, Rampage will finally start airing wherever it's been slotted this week.
AEW is booked this week, bro.
It is so funny how much they changed that start time, dog. It's like, bro, just make a decision. Like, oh my gosh.
Hey man. What do we got up next, Justin?
We have the women's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Match. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya versus and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. I am pretty sure Chelsea Green will find her way into this match with an yet unnamed partner. So let's just put Chelsea Green in there right now because I think she's going to be in the match. Might be Piper, but who knows? We'll see. It's not going to be Lacey Evans though. So this match is kind of built off the idea that you have to get as many people on the card as possible. I don't really mind it. A lot of these women don't really have a huge storyline going into WrestleMania, but they have been wrestling against each other and facing off against each other for the past couple months. This is firmly the mid-card women in the company. And yes, I'm including Ronda Rousey in that because she is firmly in the mid-card right now. What do you guys think about the women finally kind of having a mid-card? I know people are going to be upset, but let's just be real. Like, not every woman is going to be main event. You need to have somebody that are auxiliary, you know what I'm saying? People who can play their position. What do you guys feel about this mid-card?
It's very necessary. And it's been built well. Like, there are actual workers here. Like, the way we're talking about Raquel and what she'll be able to, the position she'll be able to be in next year. And she's been put into some big spots already, facing off against Ronda. That gauntlet match with Liv, like, that shit was great. I feel like she's improving a lot already. Shotzi's got some work to do, but she's been a pretty consistent character. They're clearly invested in her, so I think that it's great for her. Natty is just the perennial worker. Like, you put her in every match, she's going to get a good match out of everyone. I love Chelsea Green's character. She's been one of the most entertaining people on TV for these last few months. So it's necessary. It's enjoyable. It gives the top women people that they can elevate at certain points. And it's just showing like the work rate is really being emphasized, which is the most important thing these days. So I love it for the women's division.
Yeah, ain't no Zia Lee on this. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
BFAB was not invited to this one.
Both of them will kill you in very different ways. Yeah, what do you beat by death by head scissors? Channing, what do you think about this one? And I mean, well, wait, hold on. How about this? Give your prediction pick while we're here.
I'm kind of torn again. There's a world where I could see Ronda and Shayna just wrecking house, but I think they kind of want to go with that Liv and Raquel spot, like that like just you can just envision them like Liv like hanging on Raquel and them celebrating the victory. Like they've teamed before and they've done some really fun tag team moves together. And yeah, I think just based on their trajectory, I really think that they want to give Liv another run and they want to build Raquel up to being one of the powerhouses. So I think I'm gonna go Liv Raquel.
Channing, let's go. What you think and who you got winning this one?
Definitely agree with everything Armand said. One thing I also like about it is that they just kind of straight out went out and called it a showcase. And I feel like oftentimes they would, like in the past, they would try and like cobble up some feud whereas all 8 of these women don't like each other and now have to have a match. And I respect them just being like, no, this is a match because people want to wrestle on WrestleMania, and so you're going to wrestle on WrestleMania. I feel like even that is almost like a, like, yeah, like just be upfront about it. It's almost like being like giving them the respect that like, yes, these women also want to just have a WrestleMania match. They don't have to like just hate each other. Like there are men who just want a WrestleMania match. So I really like that aspect about it. And I agree with what Armand said also about Liv Raquel winning. But I do think that, well, what I hope is that if Liv and Raquel, you know, win beating Ronda and Shayna in some way, that Shayna and then attack them after the match and then establish himself firmly as heels. I hope that like this match can like, yes, be a win for Liv. I hope it doesn't end with her like passed out in the middle of the ring again. But I think it also should serve as a way to like at least bump Shayna Baszler. Like I think Triple H has shown like in NXT when he makes Shayna like really menacing and threatening, like she's really a good character, at least in my opinion. So I think if we can get Shayna back to that, I think that also gives you another hopefully title threat in the future when, you know, whoever wins the women's main event matches.
CC?
I'm kind of split. Because I equally see it going one of two ways. There's only two ways to me. It's either the Liv and Raquel thing for the reasons that everyone said. It's because, you know, watching the product and watching them, it's clear that if there's going to be a tag team that stays a tag team after this, they would probably more than likely be the ones. But I can see for like shenanigans sake, one, I do think Chelsea's going to be the other tag team with somebody else. I can see for shenanigans sake them winning. But regardless, sorry, go ahead.
Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville. I could. That would be. That would be dope. That would be dope. But I think the big thing that comes out of this, and they've been teasing it for a while. I think the big thing that comes out of this is the breakdown of Shayna and Ronda as this team or whatever. Shayna's been hinting at it for a while. Like if you go back and watch episodes every now and then, there'll be times where clearly Ronda's like, put up ahead of Shayna and whatnot, and Shayna's kind of like, come on, man, like, what's going on or whatever. So I think this starts like that breakdown, at least on screen for them. That's my prediction for this match. I think that's why this is here in the first place.
Whew. If I had to pick one of these things to win, one of these teams to win,
these things, damn.
Hey man,
he said these teams.
Top rope Mills. There he goes.
Shout out to Center for the save. But if I had to pick one, I would say, listen, you would have to imagine that one of these tag teams is going to get a shot at them women's tag team championships. Which, to be honest with you, now looking at it, probably could have deserved being in an actual match itself. But hey, we're here. Women's WrestleMania showcase, right?
The belts will be there.
The belts will be there. They will make an appearance on the show. They will
make an appearance.
Yes, absolutely. They will be worn by someone featured on this WrestleMania card. Nonetheless, I'm going Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Just seems like the most menacing team that you could have. If I'm picking a team that I think would be beneficial, for instance, being on both shows if they do pick up the tag team championships, I would love to see Ronda back on Raw, Shayna back on Raw, bouncing back between Raw and SmackDown, kind of having their matches, doing their kind of thing. So I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler to pick up the win in this match. What about you, Justin?
I would agree with that. I think that the thing here is that you have tag teams and you realistically could have a division with these women in it. And you also have like Michin and Candice on Raw. You have a couple of teams there as well. And they have an actual division here. I think that, and I've said this on the show, I feel as though Becky and Lita having those titles have given it more visibility than they've had in a long time. Obviously you got to get the 6-woman tag out the way on this show. Like you're not going to escape it. It's a big deal. It's historic. And it's a good moment for all of them. But I think in terms of this, it's who is at the top of the pecking order. You could just look at it in terms of like how whoever has like, and we don't know if this is an elimination match yet or not. I really think it should be, because I think you have time to give it some time. This is, I mean, it's not far-fetched that it is elimination. I know you're shaking your head, Mills. It's not far-fetched that it could be, but I think that Ronda and Shayna would be the best choice here, because I got a feeling that Ronda probably really wants those tag titles. And if you have any situation where you could have Becky and Ronda facing off together again, that's a big deal on any show, whether it be Backlash coming up or something coming up overseas. I think that's something that we should really be looking out for if they do win this match.
Absolutely. On the flip side of this thing, we got the men's version of this, the men's WrestleMania showcase match. We got Braun Strowman and Ricochet, who've been tag teaming for a couple months now. We got the Street Profits, who arguably have not been on the winning side of things lately, hoping to pick up a big win at WrestleMania. We have Alpha Academy, Chad Gable, and Otis, or Otis, depending on how you roll with this one. Seem to be on the rocks. And the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar with Valhalla, who have just been dominating, yet kind of like dominating like quietly. I think they've been, if there's any tag team that has been kind of like hurt by the lack of tag team championship representation, you know what I'm saying? It's been the Viking Raiders.
They have not lost to anyone but the guys higher than them. Yeah, guys higher than them. So that's it.
Yeah. But if I had to pick a tag team to kind of move forward with this, and I'm trying to put my head in the mind of Triple H and what he would do here. Process of elimination for me. I'm not going to choose that one. It's really between Braun and Ricochet and the Viking Raiders. And I kind of think that he's going to go with, I mean, you don't really lose anything by going with the Viking Raiders at this point. I mean, they're an actual legit tag team.
And if you look at it, there are two teams on here that are on the rocks. I mean, the Profits and Alpha Academy realistically could lose, because that's just been that's been their story there. They're edging for a breakup between those two. And it kind of sucks that they're edging for a breakup between these two teams, because the belts could realistically be back in circulation in the next couple of weeks with new champions potentially. So I mean, it sucks, but I think that Braun and Ricochet have shown that they're a really exciting tag team, and I think the crowds really react to them in a lot of different ways. And Viking Raiders, to me, they've always been a shoo-in to win whatever title whenever they get freed up. These guys are going to have the titles in some way, shape, or form very soon. So if I was to think of who would win, you kind of, that's a really tough one, man. I have no faith in the Street Profits and watch they win, but I think that the Vikings probably have the best shot of winning this and going on to the new season, so to speak, of WWE with a good winning record.
Armand, where are we going with this one?
It's a tough one. There's a world where I feel like I can make a case for all of them. Like, I think especially if Otis comes out as this Otis guy, like some type of shenanigans where Maxine helps them win. But I think the Viking Raiders have the most to gain. I would personally like to see them win, because I've been a big fan of their team for years. And I didn't like how that Usos feud from 2022 shook out, where they had that match in Elimination Chamber that was like a false finish, and then they did it on TV. So I feel like the tag team division could really use them like whooping ass as champions, and I think that this would be their launch pad to get to the title. So I'm gonna go Viking Raiders.
CC, what about you?
Yeah, like Viking Raiders makes the most sense on paper to me. I don't see why you would have any other team win. Like I see the whole Braun Strowman and Ricochet thing, but for like moments, but that's just it. You know, that thing's just a moment. It's gonna be over, you know, pretty soon. And when you think about what they've been doing with the Viking Raiders, they haven't been like keeping them off TV or anything like that. They just haven't been like super duper present in that tag team scene, because we know that's like tied up with the bloodline stuff. But when you think about it, it's just like, the Profits are there, Alpha Academy is there. I don't think that they're gonna dissolve very soon after WrestleMania, and it's very clear that they want to do something with the tag titles with the men's group. And when you look at the teams that they have, it's just like, with the Profits and Alpha Academy, there's kind of like a comedic aspect there, even like New Day or whatever, if everyone was healthy or something like that. But with the Viking Raiders, you have literally like, it's like this villainous, like, they're kind of like, just barbaric and whatnot. They can really be those guys, just like I forgot who said it earlier, just literally kicking everybody's ass. And I think you establish that by having them win this match. So it's like, okay, you need to take us seriously. We're coming for the titles and whatnot. So yeah, I'm going Viking Raiders too.
Wow, is this unanimous? This is gonna be unanimous?
Hey man, Channing, what about you? Are we gonna is this a clean sweep or nah? I feel like nah.
My mind is telling me Viking Raiders.
Boot 'em.
But my
Listen.
body is telling me Ricochet and Braun Strowman. I just feel like Braun Strowman, for whatever reason, he's a very large man. Obviously, he is always in favor, and he's always liable to just get randomly warmed up. And while I do think, yes, they have kept the Viking Raiders very strong on SmackDown, I could definitely see a scenario where they want Braun Strowman near the titles again. And I think you could see a cool program with like Ricochet doing all these like crazy flips off Braun Strowman and them just like trying to get together to win the chase whatever tag titles you want them to chase. But I just think you basically kill two birds with one stone, where you can definitely make the Viking Raiders look strong in the match without them having to actually win the match. And then for the sake of a winner, you give, Ricochet and Braun Strowman like a solidifying win. It's like, okay, we are a tag team. We like want to go for the titles. And I think you go from there.
Hey man, I'm trying to pull up the statistic right here, which is actually going to be quite surprising if it is true. Hold on, let me actually see. Was Braun? No, Braun wasn't on WrestleMania last year.
No, he was fired.
No,
He was in the company, was he? Yeah.
Braun Strowman is undefeated at WrestleMania.
Him and Nicholas, baby. Yeah.
He is undefeated at WrestleMania. Like, I mean, he lost on the pre-show once, but that doesn't count because no one's gonna remember that. But Braun Strowman, it's the newest streak.
Things change.
Taker can't say that.
Not many few can. Not many. Hey man, if we notice this, and if we make enough noise about this on the internet, Braun
if you get the right person to retweet it, it'll become a thing. It'll be a thing on Twitter.
Yes, he would definitely see it. He would definitely see it. Okay, last matchup: Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre, triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. The Intercontinental title has come a very, very, very long way in the past 300 days. From the moment that Gunther touched this title, it has become, I would say, on par with the World Championship, even when the World Champion is not around. Gunther has carried this title with style and grace and an imposing will that we have not seen from the Intercontinental title for years. I mean, a lot of people in our Discord have just started watching wrestling again or started watching it for the first time. They are lucky to have lived in this era where we get a champion like this, because it has not been like this for a very long time since. And to me, and we had this argument on the show, I was like, is he the best Intercontinental champion since Seth in 2018 or Miz in 2016 or whatever? And again, he blows them all out the water because of the quality of his matches. This is a guy who's already beaten Braun Strowman. He's beaten Ricochet. He's beaten so many people on the way to this. He's beaten Sheamus on the way to this. And now he's faced between two best friends who are at odds against each other in one big albatross that they hope to beat in this triple threat match. Meals, what do you think about the whole build and everything going on with this?
Hey, man, this is... You don't need to sell me on this because...
I just tried to.
The preamble for this goes back to last year, Clash of the Castle, a classic match. And then the follow-up afterwards. And I think they probably should have won a third match, but I guess they didn't really need to. This is going to hit hard. This is going to be awesome. This is an opportunity where if they chose to have Gunther lose, he doesn't necessarily have to be pinned in this situation. So I think that's definitely in play if they want Gunther to move on to different things. However, Man, I don't know, man. This is an NXT match on the card, bro. This is really like clear out the room.
And let's be clear here. Every single match on this card has the potential to steal the show. But I think in Triple H's WWE, every single match on this card is going to have work rate in it. I don't think from any pay-per-view that we've seen, they have not. They have kept the foot on the gas. It has had a third fucking gear every single pay-per-view since he's been around. This, to me, do you give this 20 minutes? Do you give this 25 minutes, depending on what day it is, what night it is? We're starting to kind of hear what's going to be on night one. We already know that Seth and Logan's on night one. Bianca Asuka's on night one, I believe. I know that the 6-woman tag is going to be on night one. I think Becky announced that today. Where do you put this? How long do you give this match?
I don't think you give this 20 minutes. I mean, granted, the only reason I say that is because it's WrestleMania. No one really gets time. There's only certain matches I could see Seth Logan getting the time. Like the matches that are Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Usos getting the time. I'm not sure if this match will get the time, considering it is a mid-card match and it's not like a really attraction, high caliber thing on the card. Who knows? Maybe there's a rematch in Puerto Rico and they get the time there. But I don't know if this gets the time.
Puerto Rico was where the title was kicked off, right?
No, I think that might have been I feel like it was Brazil. Well, actually, I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. My trivia game has been slipping up the last 6 months or so.
You need to talk to Armand.
Armand, yeah, that's true. Hold us down. But with that said, I mean, if I had to pick a winner for this match, there's no doubt in my mind it's Gunther. Like the betting odds just say Gunther. It looks better on Gunther. He has 2 guys that could potentially pull some distraction shenanigans in this match. Like, I'd say just go with him.
What you said is really important because that black belt does not look great on everybody. It like really looks good on Gunther. Like it really looks regal.
That is not how they're deciding who's winning.
I'm just telling you, as a visual learner, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
I mean, definitely look at it. You like why Bobby Lashley kept that U.S. title so long. You're like, man, it looked good on him.
Look good on
him. Shannon, what do you think? Where are you going with this one?
I definitely agree with what you were saying about it maybe not being a long match. And I do think because of the whole triple threat, no DQ thing, I think Imperium, like the rest of them, like Fabian and them get involved. And I think it maybe doesn't go quickly, but I do think Gunther wins more on like a heelish way. Like I think there's definitely like you get the chops, you get the splashes, you get the power bombs. You're going to get all that. And you're going to get some like heavy finisher play. Like you get probably a couple claymores, some bro kicks, all that. But I think somehow, the other 2 get involved. Sheamus will eat the pin. And then kind of like you're saying, either Backlash will be just Sheamus or they'll keep Drew in and they'll run all 3 back. But I think this one will include all 6 of them because kind of like we've been saying, they want to get everyone on the card. And they've kind of been involved in a lot of other stuff already.
Channing, who you got? I mean, not Channing. Sorry, Armand.
Man, this is a tough one. Y'all know how I feel about my guy, Big Drew. Man, this is a moment I've been waiting for. Drew potentially getting near a title. Sheamus has been campaigning for the IC title, winning it at Mania for a while, and I feel like it's almost a little
left, right?
Right, it's his only title left to become Grand Slam, so it's like you could get that moment, but I can see a world where Drew, being like the third party here, wins it, and then Sheamus turns, and then they unfold into a feud there. So Gunther loses it without getting pinned, and he can go on to world title, where I think we all would like to see him in that mix. But then I can also see a world where Sheamus gets his crowning moment. I think either way, Gunther's actually not walking out as champion. So it's really just a matter of, do you want to give Sheamus this Grand Slam moment, or do you want to have Drew win, turn Sheamus, and get more bangers from them? So I think, and fuck it, I'm biased. I'm gonna go Drew. Drew got it.
Wow, the bias is definitely showing in all of his glory. CC, what's up?
I think before I say my prediction, I think this is one of those things that makes wrestling good. Because I'm listening to everyone, and you guys are pretty much, all where I am, where it's like you look at these 3 these three people in this match. You look at the reasons for why people are going into it, you know, the history and whatnot, and it kind of makes it hard to figure out who's gonna take it. Which to me, that's like it's like what the greatest part about wrestling is if you can go into a match like really not knowing, like, okay, this could go, you don't know. That being said, um, I think that right now, I think it would be I think it would be a bigger lift to try to put Gunther in a storyline that doesn't involve him being the Intercontinental Champion right now with the rest of the roster, because there just haven't been any threads outside of like Sheamus and stuff like that. Like his thing is that I'm the Intercontinental Champion. You guys are coming for my championship, so he doesn't really have any things with like other people, even though he's had backstage things with people here and there. So I think it would be difficult to put him into a different storyline. So I can see that as the reason why keeping him. I can also see, you know, Sheamus, you know, potentially nearing the end of his career, and you know, this being like the last check mark. And I can also see for the purpose of kind of like adding, you know, more mountain to the mountain for Sheamus, giving it to Drew so that he has to go through his best friend to get this like crowning achievement. So I can see like every side of this. And honestly, this is weird because I didn't know I was going to do this before we started the show, but after thinking about it more, I can see Drew taking it. And the reason why I say I can see Drew taking it is because if Drew and Sheamus lose to Gunther, from there I can the obvious story is Sheamus blaming Drew for him not getting the title, and then Drew saying you couldn't beat him on your own, you were never going to beat him, and then they go on their own thing or whatever. But like, how many times are going to see Drew and Sheamus just be mad at each other and fight? And then like, you know, if Sheamus wins, it's like, yeah, he got this title, but like, what's next? Like Gunther's just going to come after it again, and then maybe that's a thing, and then he has the brawling Bruce. But like, where is that going to go? I don't really see it being useful, him having the title for really any stretch of time. But with Drew having the title, it's like a weird spot because there's so many different possibilities. Like, there's just so many different things you can do. The obvious thing is, you know, Sheamus and Gunther coming after the title and whatnot. And that's where you get your Sheamus Gunther 3 to see who's the number one contender to go and face Drew at Backlash and whatnot. But even with that, because where Drew is in the company, he's like one of those people where kind of everyone floats around him, and there's a reason for him to fight almost everyone. Like, he's one of those guys where he's just like, I want to fight. And then other people, if he's the champion, then people want to become champion, so they'll want to fight him. Obviously, Drew is already a draw as champion, you know. So I just see that as like having crazy more possibilities. So I'm just like, you know what? I think that might be the way to go. You know, shake it up. Gunther winning, I'm just like, I can see that. Like, it would be, I would like, on paper, I would make that happen. But I'm like, nah, let's shake it up. You know, I can see Drew winning.
Amen. Go ahead, Justin.
I think the one thing that you guys are severely underrating right now is that Sheamus is an H guy. He's always been an H guy. There is nothing he would want anymore. And we made the H guy list. He is H. Story. It has been a story that's been going on since September. He is an H guy. His old workout buddy. He also has believed in the past of really kind of rewarding his guys with opportunities and rewarding him. And Sheamus has been down for this dude his whole career, damn near. He's been down for this dude, and there's nothing better than Triple H would ever want than to not only reward him for all of his work that he's done, but also to be able to book a babyface Sheamus. I think Sheamus will win this, but for many, many, many reasons. One of them being Gunther can continue to Jesus Christ. Gunther can continue to chase Sheamus as a heel, but the intangible here is Drew McIntyre, who I do not believe will be a babyface for very long this year. And I think that is the kind of the path that you take. Drew is losing opportunity after opportunity. This is kind of his last idea, the title. You can still do Drew and Sheamus as a babyface heel combination. That's the UK Gargano Ciampa. You know what I'm saying? The UK Triple H HBK. They can continue to do this because they're going to have great matches over and over again. what better way to do that than to have them have a title that they're fighting over, and that be the Intercontinental title? You have two former world champions fighting over something that people basically saw as not worth it a couple of years ago. You can still do Sheamus and Gunther 3 in Puerto Rico. You can have Gunther finally get pinned, and then you can have Gunther go on to greener pastures, to Raw, or to another program with Cody in the summertime or something like that if you really want to do that. I don't think it is as dire for Gunther without a title because of the fact that he does not wrestle very often. And you can pluck him into any type of storyline with a baby face. You could do Ray again if you really wanted to down the line. But I think that Sheamus should win this title. I think it's a feel-good moment. This is still WrestleMania. This is still a show full of moments, and you have to have those moments. And one of those moments is Sheamus finally winning the big one, being the Intercontinental title. You can still do that, and it'll still mean something. It'll still matter. But I think that in the long term of this, Drew McIntyre is he's not long for a baby face. So really enjoy him for what it is right now.
Hey, man.
I think you're absolutely right about that. That's partly the reason why I booked Drew to win. I would book him to win, like currently, like he's kind of babyface or whatever, but him winning would like immediately switch it so that you're like, wait, you stole this from Sheamus, and like everyone's like on Sheamus' side. But I do agree about that. Regardless of how this turns out, Drew is not going to be a good guy, for the rest of 2023. That's not going to happen.
And I think it's all about the turn. Why is it nuts?
This is about Gunther. I mean, as much as it's about Sheamus and Drew, shout out to Sheamus and Drew.
It's not anymore, though.
Character.
It's not anymore, though.
This is him, all right?
No, I know he's ironclad, Mills, but here's the thing, Mills. It's really, I hate to say it's not about him, but it is really about Sheamus's moment. And I think that more than anything, you kind of get that over. And if Drew doesn't, or if Gunther doesn't get pinned, he's not hurt here. He's still going to want the title after this. He's still going to want it.
I have 100% faith that even if, let's say Cody wins and Gunther is a challenger at let's say Money in the Bank or something that I booked, something. I could still see Gunther being Intercontinental champion and challenging Cody.
Yep.
Like, he's badass, man. This is about Gunther at the end of the day. Like, I love Drew. I love Sheamus. They had their time. Sheamus beat the man in 28 fucking seconds at a WrestleMania. He's had his moment. Drew has won the world championship at WrestleMania. He's had his,
That was Vince's moment, not H's moment. That was Vince's moment, not H's moment.
And
It
that
is
was the
Gunther's
PC,
time.
baby.
It is Gunther's time.
That was Vince's moment, not H's moment. I'm gonna go ahead and say Sheamus here, because for the reasons I named, but also because you need to get Gunther out of this division in a very kind of easy way. And if you can do that with him not being pinned and have Drew have that be a motivation to turn, and then Sheamus beating Gunther, which is something else that Drew couldn't do. And then Drew said, man, you know what I'm saying? Let's go out for a drink and hit him on the fucking head with a damn mug or a bottle or some shit. Then that's how you pop the shit off. But you also got to remember, Meals, that I believe the rumor right now is that Butch is over. That crew is probably going to be broken up too.
Hey, man, listen, I have no doubt in that. That sounds cute and fine for everybody involved. It is Gunther's time. It is Gunther's time.
Love to be. You love it. Ain't no time, brother.
This time.
He had time at Royal Rumble for an hour.
Exactly. It's not over. This is a man who's had a 500 some. What is it? 900.
How many? It's just 300.
NXT UK under Triple H's regime, man.
Don't nobody watch that show.
Really doubting that this man Triple H is not gonna have a super long title reign for this guy. Like,
It's already been super long.
But it's going to be longer.
It ain't over.
Nah.
First off, Drew wears jeans. So there's no way that title's gonna look good on somebody wearing jeans and an Affliction t-shirt. So that's not happening. So you can dead that, bro.
I won't talk about Sheamus fit neither.
Sheamus with the Bugle Boy hats is borderline. You gotta drop the hats.
Listen.
Yo, picturing the IC title with some bootcut jeans is crazy.
That's what y'all want. That's what y'all are asking for.
Yeah.
Listen. No matter what happens, I'm interested more now in this result, knowing how everybody feels about this. But the undercard for WrestleMania is gonna bang. Everything is banging thus far. Shout out to the Banger Bros. And shout out to, the Banger Bros of you guys in the writers' room. Shout out to Channing, Armand, CC, all being here. We also got to give props to the spirit of Dion, which left the space.
Our
He-
Spike Dudley.
When his computer crashed on its way to his home planet.
But we got more coming up on this WrestleMania prediction party. We still got the women coming up. We still got the attraction matches coming up, and we got the main event between Cody and Roman Reigns. Who do we think is going to win this? You'll have to find out. But we got more of the A show coming up next.
Yes, sir. We're going to continue this with the big matches, the attraction matches, celebrity wrestling with a special guest that we wanted to have on the show for quite some time. So right after this break, we'll be right back.